And you've got it on 2K Sports for Wednesday night action in the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan. I'll be joined by Greg Anthony, Tim Legler, and we'll be hearing from our reporter, Allie LaForce, on the sidelines as well. So a moment now to see the story for him.
The most positive thing about his last 10 games, the work on defense. His mindset has become very aggressive. The steals are up, and he's becoming a big factor on the defensive end.
And a look at the starters for St. Louis. We've got Gordon. Stevenson is out there with Lewis, and it's Simon in at the 2. And for Virginia, you know, when you break down these teams, Greg, they are excellent on the defensive end.
Yeah, so let's give credit to their coaches. They prepare their teams well, motivating their guys to give that consistent effort.
And it's going to be the Storm off the tip. Virginia working the ball around. Here's Lamb. And the first shot of the night for him, missing. Simon, the pass to Gordon. Pass to Lewis. 6 to shoot. Outside Gordon. Fade away. Rebounded by Lamb. And so it's Lamb with it. He brings it up for the Storm.
And it was pretty much a cakewalk for them the last time these two squared off and had a clear advantage on the backboard.
Well, that's got to be an area of concern in this one. If they are able to dominate the boards again, it could be a repeat of the last meeting.
Now here's Gordon. Puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Virginia.
And even with good coverage defensively that time, he has confidence to drill the 3.
Pass to Lamb. They set the pick. Here he goes. That one good for 2. Lamb's got the opening bucket of the night here for the Storm.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
Well, you just have to communicate those switches. If you don't, it's on you.
And the shot goes in.
Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
That is a quality look. You can't do it much better than that.
Lamb against Gordon. Back to Lamb. Over Gordon. No good from Lamb.
Still trying to find their rhythm offensively. Just 1 for 4 so far.
To the inside. Here's Lewis. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. Outside, Lamb. Elbow shot. They set the screen. Tries again. It's rebounded by Stevenson.
And you see the frustration on his face. He had a great opportunity there, and he blew it.
Just under 3.5 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Over to the left wing. Lamb up top. Intercepted. Simon, the pass to Gordon. Clock at 6. Pass to Stevenson. Over Lamb. Stevenson can't hit.
That's 20% now from the field. What a cold start.
And here is Lamb. To end the drought. All sorts of time. No good. Shot missing.
That was a breakdown defensively, but he couldn't take advantage.
Back to Gordon. Pass to Stevenson. And Lewis has it in the corner. Now Stevenson. Puts up a three. Rebounded by Lamb.
And even though he didn't get a piece of that shot, you love the pressure he puts on the shooter.
And sometimes that's all you need to do to force that miss.
Now here's Lamb. 9-point game his last outing. Another shot. He lays it in.
Man, that's a lesson for the D. Fight harder on the glass.
Well, you see this all too often. The effort has to be there first.
And the Sound call their first time out of the game. And here we have the 2K leaderboard showing us the teams with the best free throw percentage during the past month.
And they've had a lot of success at the free throw line converting those at a high level. So I'd look for them to continue to attack the rim.
And it's Stevenson, top of the key. St. Louis moving the ball around. Shot clock at 5. St. Louis needs to get off a shot here. Here's Lewis. Some solid defense there from Lamb. And for Virginia, they're shooting in the early going here. Pretty dreadful, 22%. On the wing, Lamb. Pass to Lamb. Over Stevenson. Green for 2 points. Lamb's got his second basket of the game.
This is why they will go to him often. He's going to take and make shots.
Now Gordon. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game. Down low. In the corner, it's Stevenson. Back to Gordon. Fires for 3. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Lamb.
And taking a look here at the numbers for Lamb, a strong stretch of play the last 10 games. He's putting up about 12 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists. And guys, he can just explode for points anytime he steps on the court.
You want to be a successful team in this league, you need to find someone that you can feed the ball to and count on to score.
Now off the inbound. Rebounded by Lamb.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
Shot clock at 6. Here's the screen. Virginia needs to get off a shot. Can't hit from in close.
Well, that was a great challenge at the rim and a difficult adjustment to make.
Gordon inside. Kicks it out to Stevenson. Pass to Gordon to the right side. On the wing, Stevenson. Over Lamb. And again, no good by St. Louis. Virginia leading by 4. To the middle. Fades and shoots. It's good.
Yeah, he goes to the fadeaway right there. I think he thought the defense was a little bit closer.
And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for St. Louis. Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Timeout called here. The Sound will talk it over. Stevenson with it. Still scoreless. Lewis. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. Fader on the way. And good. Got the English that time as it falls. And now it's an 8-point Storm lead.
Perfect approach for what the D was showing on that possession.
Stevenson outside. Lewis sets the pick for Stevenson. Lewis on the wing. Just 5 on the clock. Pass to Gordon. It's deflected. Here's Harrison. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
And this is right around the time when one team might start to pull away.
And one thing about this league we know, momentum can change in an instant.
Stevenson dishes to Gordon. Simon, the pass to Gordon. 5 to shoot. This one for 3. It's rebounded by Virginia. Harrison in the corner. Trying his luck from deep. That's a miss. He's made one and missed one. St. Louis trails by 10. Back to Stevenson. Over Lamb. And again, no good by St. Louis.
Well, he better focus now. His efficiency is dropping, but there's enough game left to make corrections.
Right wing. Virginia working the ball around. Here's Harrison. Bank shot. No good.
And he can't let that get to him. He should have made it, but he's got to focus on the next one.
Gordon finds Stevenson. Pass to Gordon. Here's Lewis. And no good. The dry spell continuing for him. Here's Harrison. Shoots the 3. That one, no good.
A team's rebounding is a great measure of its energy, and theirs has been terrific here in the first quarter.
Gordon, the pass to Simon. Pass to Lewis. And a miss there with a chance to cut the lead to single digits. Virginia leading by 10. Out to Lamb. Fires from deep. St. Louis with the rebound.
You guys, you just can't afford to give away points from the foul line. Not in the NBA. Teams are just too talented.
So that's why they're called free throws. And it seemed like with each miss, their confidence took a hit. It's just too hard to overcome that.
Now here's Gordon. Here's Stevenson. Harrison with the rebound.
And he just hasn't been able to make anything this quarter.
The layup off target.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Stevenson outside. Out to the right wing. On the wing, Gordon. Will it go? No good on that one. Virginia has gone 0-3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Substitution on the court. There's 10 seconds left to play in the first. Up top, Hawkins with 1 on the clock, and the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And so it's Virginia going into the break with a 10-point lead. They've been playing some inspired defense, giving up very few easy points. Right back after this break. And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And from what we've seen from the Storm, guys, what's your take so far?
Stingy on the defensive end in that first quarter. They were just getting up into people.
Well, it's hard to get stops in this league with so much talent offensively. I love what they are doing right now.
So the sound 5 right now. Shaw is out there with Bennett. Then there's Hawkins. And it's Pittman in at the point. Misses the baby hook. St. Louis trails by 10. Now here's Bennett. Pass to Pittman. Now here's Gibson. Inside. Got a piece of it. It's deflected. And we're starting the second quarter. About a minute gone. And here is Lamb. 6 on the shot clock. Out to Lamb. Fires the 3. The Storm with a fresh shot clock. And the shot goes in. And the Storm lead by 12.
How frustrating for the defense. You get the stop, but then fail to block out.
And that's why they're behind. A lack of effort, a lack of attention to detail.
For Virginia, they've gone 1 of 3 to start out the second quarter. Three-pointer on the way. The shot comes out. St. Louis trails by 12. Here's Shaw. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
Well, that's a defensive breakdown. You can't let him get that deep.
Well, that is just point-blank range. They're going to convert that almost every time.
Now here's Lamb. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Hands it from downtown. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Hawkins with it. He's picked up by Lamb. Clock at 6. Lamb passes to Lamb. And Gibson sends it back. Hawkins against Lamb. Pass to Shaw. Here's Bennett. Pittman kicks to Hawkins. And here's Bennett to the paint. That one's good. The Storm lead is cut down now to just 11 on the basket from Gibson.
And that's the kind of lead pass we've come to expect from him.
And Virginia decides to take their first time out here. Tim, these days, things are changing for modern NBA big men.
Well, there is no doubt when I played, every team had 4 or 5 legitimate post players, and the ball went in to the low post regularly throughout the game. I think now the difference is you have to have versatility in your game. Teams are looking for bigs that can shoot it, handle it, and facilitate.
Valuable pieces for sure. Always interesting to check out the first-year stars of the NBA, and on that list are the rookies who have been almost automatic from the field this past month. And almost 4 minutes gone here in the second quarter of play. And he converts the layup. 5 points in the game.
And Matador defense, that's one of the easiest shots he is ever going to see.
And they are just breaking the will of their opponent.
Now here's Gordon. Here is Hawkins. 6 to shoot. There's a screen. Lets it go from 11. That misses off the back door.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the chart.
As it goes out of bounds, Virginia able to keep the ball here.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
He is just trying to make an impact by disrupting their rhythm.
St. Louis making a switch here. Lewis is checked in. Outside, Lamb. Trying to find Lamb, gets it to him. And it's blocked by Lewis. It's Hawkins on the wing. Hasn't made one yet. Lamb against Stevenson. 4 on the shot clock. Rebounded by Lamb. Virginia leading by 13. The 3 gets the three-pointer to fall.
Well, taking full advantage of a defensive weakness there, and it certainly helps if you get shots that your guys can knock down.
Now here's Gordon. They set the pick. Pass to Lewis. Driving inside. And he banks in the layup.
Now, how about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Outside, Lamb. St. Louis with the rebound. Lewis has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Now Hawkins. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Stevenson outside. Here's Viana, and it's blocked. Well, it's going to be out of bounds. The Sound will retain possession. And we have to take another glance at that powerful rejection.
And guys, they'll think twice about attempting that shot again. That was a big-time rejection.
Two on the clock. For 3, Gordon. Rebounded by Lamb. Lamb's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead. Another good play. This is how they built the lead, calling on the right guys at the right time.
Well, they're making something very difficult look simple right now.
Now here's Gordon. Inside, here's Lewis. Great pass to set up the lay-in. Lewis has got his 2nd basket of the night.
And they've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball in the paint.
On the wing, Lamb. There's the pick. Fires it up. And again, it's Virginia.
Well, he's raising the stakes here in the 2nd quarter and being more efficient in the process.
Hawkins with it. Scoreless thus far. Here's Viana. That's tipped. And it turns out it's going to be a foul. He was hoping for a clean block, but the officials felt otherwise. So we'll see some free throws here. He's getting his 1st free throw attempt of the night right now. And the first one drops. You see a lot of pick and rolls, but you also, Greg, hear about inverted screens. Can you explain to the viewers what that means?
Yeah, that's where your guard actually is the one setting the pick for the bigger player, and having little guys who are willing to put their body on the line. You think of a Steph Curry, a John Stockton, 2 of the best to ever do it.
Now here's Lamb. He's got 6. Shot from 12. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
His shot's just, it's not there right now. With this team leading, perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game. They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Here's Harrison after the basket by the Sound. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Right now, let's take a second to catch up with Allie LaForce on the sideline.
Thank you, guys. The NBA studies other leagues. Commissioner Adam Silver said, I'm a fan of what baseball did with the pitch clock and the size of bases, increasing the engagement and the entertainment value of the game. If they're able to make changes, certainly we shouldn't be afraid to do the same. Kevin, back to you.
Some forward thinking. Allie, we thank you very much.
All right, that's 2 fouls, not a big deal, but you don't want to pick up that third before the half.
Stevenson outside. Pass to Gordon. Down to 5 on the shot clock. They swipe it.
Well, they tried to punch the ball inside right there, but the window closed quickly. That's great defense.
And what's your take, guys, in the hustle sketch for the Storm?
And just a great job so far applying pressure defensively. The opposition is on their heels with the ball in their hand. Nightmares clamps thus far.
Well, don't forget about their scoring in the open floor. They've been getting a lot of production on their break.
Clock is at 3. From past the arc. Harrison with the rebound.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Lamb against Gordon. 3-pointer. They get the rebound. Second shot opportunity, and it's blocked by Lewis. St. Louis trails by 18. To the inside. Kicks it out to Stevenson. Here's Viana. And it's blocked. And as it goes out of bounds, St. Louis able to keep the ball here. St. Louis calls timeout.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
Right now, as a coach, you're looking out on the floor and you're wondering, do I have the right 5 on the court together?
Number 35. All right, let's hear it for all the dancers.
Here is Stevenson. No scoring in this one. And again, no good by St. Louis. Back to Harrison. Virginia working the ball around. Shot clock at 6. Banked in off the glass. And the Storm lead by 20.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
Pass to Lewis. Outside Gordon. Stevenson outside. Over Harrison. And it's Stevenson missing.
And he's a very good mid-range shooter, but the defense was all over him there, making that a very difficult shot.
Unloads from 13. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Lewis. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there. Harrison in the corner. There's 39 seconds left to play here in the half. That one goes. Count it.
That's the right pass to make. Beautiful job.
35 seconds left now here in the second. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Back to Gordon. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. This is his first free throw of the game.
And he's been terrific, guys. I mean, the percentage right around 86%, so no doubt he's pleased with that.
Free throw good. Gordon. Gordon hits both of them.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Five on the clock. To the middle. And that one's good. Harrison's got 4 points this quarter.
Offensively, defensively, they are in total control.
And they just keep building out this lead. With each made basket, their confidence increases.
And through the first half, a pretty lopsided affair. Virginia ahead, delivering the blowout. And we'll be back right after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
Thanks for stopping by, everybody. The story tonight, everything, and I mean everything, is working well.
How about the points in the paint? Clearly, they made it a priority coming in, and it's paying dividends, Ernie.
Yeah, I remember those days pounded inside. Break your opponent's spirit.
Easy now. And let's move on to the race for Rookie of the Year. A lot of young talent in the league this season.
There's impressive talent in this class, and the top dogs are battling.
Each guy wants this award bad, and you know they're going to be talking trash to one another all season long.
Thanks for joining us. Now let's toss it to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. It's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up with a sound. Pass to Stevenson. Puts one up from 19. Rebounded by Lamb. Lamb's got 5 rebounds tonight.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
And for St. Louis, they've got Lewis. Stevenson is out there with Gordon. And it's Simon in at the 2-guard spot. And he gets the bucket. And here is St. Louis now. Viana, covered by Lamb. St. Louis moving the ball around. Back to Stevenson. Lewis sets the pick for Stevenson. Clock at 4. With the teardrop. And no good.
Still searching for his first bucket of the night. He is struggling, and so is his team.
Outside, Lamb. Tries it from 19. St. Louis with the rebound. Outside, Gordon. It's stolen by Lamb. Right side, Lamb. Over Gordon. The second chance effort. Oh, that's blocked. 2 minutes into the second half of play now. Stevenson outside. Just 5 to shoot. Pass to Gordon. Fires the 3. The shot, no good. For Virginia, they've gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming on Milwaukee at the break. Good on the bucket.
Just Mr. Reliable again here today, Kevin. I mean, they need his points, and he's producing.
Now here's Gordon. Lewis dishes to Stevenson to the left wing. Pass to Gordon. Lewis, right side, back to Gordon. They need this one. He can't get that one to fall.
And another miss. Oof. He's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Here's Lamb, defended by Gordon. Lamb against Gordon, and Lamb kicks to Lamb. Shoots. St. Louis with the rebound. Lewis has got 6 rebounds here tonight. Stevenson outside, over to the wing. Viana, covered by Lamb. Here's Viana. And again, no good by St. Louis.
Oof, ugly start to the second half. They're still scoreless in their first 5 attempts.
Pass to Lamb. It's hauled in by Gordon. St. Louis has gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Down low. And he comes up with the deuce. Lewis has got his 3rd bucket of the night.
A point-blank range. That is too easy.
Timeout called, Virginia. So you can talk about the physical challenges, Tim, of today's game. One thing the players have a little easier, certainly, is the way they travel from game to game.
Well, there is no question about that. I didn't even get on a charter till the middle of my NBA career.
Oh, my goodness.
In the mid-90s. We were still flying commercial to that point, but there's no doubt travel is better for players. I think also some of the things they've added for guys, like massage therapists and acupuncturists and even personal chefs, all of that makes it a little bit easier for today's NBA player.
Now, if we could do it for the broadcasters, that would really be a win.
Sign me up, Kevin. I'll be right there reclining fully right next to you.
Upside Lamb, stolen by Stevenson. Pass to Gordon. Six to shoot. St. Louis moving the ball around. A 3-ball. Rebounded by Lamb. The Storm have gone 2 of 7 from the field in the 3rd. That leaves room for improvement, certainly. Pass to Lamb. Jacks up a 3. Good on the 3-point shot. 7 points in the game.
Well, those are the ones you're happy to get every trip down the floor if you can.
And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up for St. Louis. Stevenson outside. Simon, the pass to Stevenson. Out to the right wing. It's stolen by Lamb. To the inside. Moves back up. He tries for 3. Up again. It's good on the putback. And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for Virginia.
I like their defense tonight, and we don't talk about that side of the ball enough. You can really change a game when you get a bunch of steals and get out in transition.
Well, you can also throw in what a great job they've done defensively, blocking and altering shots and just playing with a committed effort defensively.
Lamb. Pass to Lamb. Over Lewis. No good from Lamb. St. Louis has gotten blank from 3-point land so far in the 3rd. Still 0 for 3. On the wing, Stevenson. Lewis on the wing. Clock at 6. Back to Stevenson. To the wing right side. Here's Viana. And again, no good by St. Louis. Virginia has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break.
St. Louis foul call. Sebastian Viana.
Virginia shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game.
Team foul. At the line for Virginia, number 34. Taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good, so both teams making some changes here. Both good from the line that time. You know, Tim, you hear some players now feeling they're being unfairly criticized. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I do believe it can get personal at times, but listen, if you are in this league, I think it helps to have thick skin because you are going to be criticized from time to time.
But players do pay attention, don't they? They know what's being said and written.
They pay a lot more attention than they let on, Kevin, believe me. And if they're not listening, somebody in their inner circle is, I promise you that.
Second chance shot. St. Louis with the rebound.
Nothing going his way this quarter offensively. Time to recalibrate.
Inside, they need this, and the layup is up and in.
That's very smart use of the screen, and it sets up a very close look.
Stolen by Lewis. To the paint. Viana, covered by Lamb. Pass to Hawkins. Takes a 3. That shot missing.
And he's been a force on the glass all game long.
His effort has been there since the opening tip. He is leading the way by example. You really need to take advantage of those looks because the defense won't give you many of them.
Outside Gordon. The 3. The shot will not fall. Some solid defense there from Lamb. To the middle. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. He's got 21. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively, for sure.
Inside, here's Viana. It's tipped, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Lamb.
Sound ball.
St. Louis making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. Here's Gordon. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Picked off in midair. Fast break. Here comes Virginia. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. He's got 6.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
And it results in the highest percentage look you're going to get.
Here is Hawkins. Still without a basket. Gibson up top. St. Louis moving the ball around. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Hawkins. It's rebounded by Virginia.
Well, the defense was daring him to take that shot, and it paid off.
Gordon against Lamb. Down low. Lays it up and banks it in.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
1:39 left in the third quarter. Back to Gordon. Pass to Hawkins. Here's the screen. Here's Viana. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
And no matter what they've tried, the D just has not been able to deny them the ball inside.
That one goes in. 10 points for Lamb.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Simon, the pass to Hawkins. There's 48 seconds left in the third. Puts up a deep three. It doesn't go for him.
And another miss for him. It's been this way all night, and that is tough for his team to overcome.
He gets it in there.
Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up with a sound. We've got 22 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Hawkins passes to Simon. There's the three. It's rebounded by Virginia. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. And so it's Virginia with a major 39-point lead here at the end of the quarter. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. We'll take a quick break and then back to the action here. While we have the chance now, folks, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, a terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
Yeah, the pass was so effective. Great job moving the ball with purpose.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. So, Tim, when you played, you were one of the league's best sharpshooters. Did you ever look around and pick things up off of other guys you watch shoot the ball well?
No question. In fact, I learned a lot about how to move off the ball by watching other guys as I made my way through college and eventually became a pro. And even when I was in the league, I would study other players to pick up things on their footwork and how to get my release a little bit quicker.
Give me one player that you really studied hard.
Well, there's no question Del Curry was a guy I watched because he needed very little time to get that shot off, coming off of a screen. And unfortunately, several times I got there late against him and learned my lesson.
And for St. Louis, they've got Stevenson. He's out there with Shaw, and it's Hawkins in at the shooting guard position. And for the Storm, here's Stevenson. And Gibson kicks to Pittman. Pass to Stevenson from deep. No good on that one.
And at this point, the defense is daring him to shoot.
Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Here's Harrison. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash-mouth physical basketball, guys.
Here is Pittman. And with the most recent collective bargaining agreement, Tim, teams have felt the pinch of those new luxury tax and apron penalties.
Yeah, and the goal of those being put in place was to have more top-tier talent equally spread out around the league. And as you've seen, there's been some tough decisions already. Some teams have had to trade away some of their stars just to make the math work.
And sometimes it's hard to make that math work. There's so many moving parts.
And as a result, it's more important to be able to structure out your supporting cast than ever before.
Back to Harrison. Virginia working the ball around. Tries again. The rebound by Gibson. Gibson's got his 4th rebound in this one. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Up top, Hawkins. Misses, and the dry spell continues. For Virginia, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Here's Harrison. Over to the wing. Goes back up. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. So, Tim, in the past, it's always been accepted that the veteran-laden teams would have an edge. But I don't know if we're seeing that as much now. What do you think?
Well, I think you used to see a lot more continuity with rosters across a number of years. But nowadays, much shorter contracts means you have teams that evolve and change more regularly than ever before.
Almost feels like you got to be more nimble as a franchise than ever before.
You absolutely have to have much more forethought because you keep these groups together for a shorter period of time.
Lewis checked in for St. Louis. And that's good as he hits both of his shots. For St. Louis, they've gone a dismal 0 for 5 to get the fourth quarter underway. Here is Pittman. To the inside. Lewis gets the bucket.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Pass to Harrison. Here's Lamb. And, yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
Well, you just have to communicate those switches. If you don't, it's on you.
Here is Pittman. Lewis a screen on Lamb. Pittman the pass to Lewis. Just 4 to shoot. It's rebounded by Virginia.
Well, his poor shooting hasn't helped them much, but you can't point the finger solely at him for why they're behind.
Here's Harrison. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Tim, as we look at the area of modern medicine, isn't it amazing how it's helping extend playing careers?
Yeah, it's really incredible, Kevin, how these procedures now are so much less invasive. Guys come back sooner and they're able to play longer. Just look at Klay Thompson gifting his 2022 championship ring to the doctor who performed his Achilles surgery. Now that's the kind of impact these doctors are having.
It really is amazing. To Stevenson. Shoots from the elbow. It's not going to go for him. Virginia with the ball. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. And it's Lamb atop the key. 11 feet away. Again, the miss by Virginia. Here's St. Louis now. Outside Gordon. Pass to Stevenson. Now here's Gordon. Here's Lewis. And again, no good by St. Louis. Harrison scanning the floor. Now here's Lamb. He's guarded by Stevenson. Here's Harrison. That 3 off the mark. Stevenson outside. Outside Gordon. Back to Stevenson. St. Louis moving the ball around. Beyond the arc. No good that time. Virginia with the ball. They've gone on a 10-2 run, not allowing much. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. So when you look at different approaches to player recovery, from load management, say, Tim, to rub some dirt on it and get back in there, Where do you stand on all of that?
Well, I do think teams have done a better job of trying to make sure players are protected from themselves and make sure they're getting enough rest. But I also think there are times guys should be allowed to play through certain types of minor injuries.
And that one misses.
And they're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
And the Storm making a change here. Good on the second free throw. Now here's Gordon. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
One-on-one fast break. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot two here.
First personal foul, fourth team foul. At the line for Storm, number 15, taking 2 shots.
And he makes the first. You know, Tim, some people love the star power of dynasties, but do you think the league's push for parity is helping the game overall?
Overall, I do believe competitive balance is good for the league. I think there are more fan bases that stay more engaged longer into the year, and that's just good for everybody.
I totally agree. Good on both. And it's Gordon with the ball. He brings it up with a sound. Pass to Lewis. Outside Gordon. 6 on the shot clock. No good. They had a chance to end the run there. The Storm have gone 4 of 10 here in the final period. Not the time to go cold. Here's Harrison. Misses in close. St. Louis has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Lewis, left side. Stevenson outside. Got a piece of it. Here's Viana. No good there.
Sometimes effort is more important than size. His rebounding numbers tonight are proof of that.
One thing we see sometimes, players opting to represent themselves when it comes to signing a contract. In other words, Tim, they don't have an agent. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think most players, Kevin, understand that the numbers are pretty set, particularly for the superstar. If you know you're going to get a supermax, why not keep more of what you make? Why pay an agent?
That's a good point. And it's a completely new group for Virginia. Up top, Stevenson. Outside, Gordon. Back to Stevenson. 5 to shoot. Lewis, left side, to stop the drought. It's rebounded by Virginia. Lamb's got 7 rebounds in the game. Pass to Lamb. Lamb against Lewis. To Lamb. Virginia working the ball around. No good from Lamb.
He created the opening. He got the angle. Unfortunately, that miss is just on him.
With the step back. Outside Gordon. Lewis sets the pick for Gordon. To the paint. Lewis gets the bucket.
Interior passing is so difficult if you aren't precise. They were right there. Nice work.
Outside, Lamb. Takes the 3. That shot off.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
St. Louis has gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. To the middle, here's Viana. And he lays it straight in.
Well, he led his teammate and hit him in stride. You really can't do it any better than that.
Tim, the NBA is always changing, but any predictions for the league that you kind of feel we're going to see around the corner?
Yeah, Kevin, I just think the influx and the impact of international players is going to be even stronger going forward. I think a lot of guys have seen the success that those players have had in the NBA, and hopefully it inspires even more great players internationally to want to play this great game.
And for a short time, you played overseas. You saw a lot of them firsthand.
I sure did, and I was in France well before the French influx really hit this league, but I knew then that was the goal.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for Virginia.
Their superior ball handling won it for them.
And fewer turnovers equals greater scoring opportunities. Any coach will tell you that. If you take care of the ball every possession, and this is a perfect example of what happens when you do.
And, of course, this season for these guys has been just remarkable. Win after win, we've watched them take on the best teams in the league and dispatch them with ease. Tonight will mark win number 72, adding to the storied season one more time.
And with this win, it gives them a sweep of the season series, even though it's just a brief two-game.
At the line for Virginia, number 34. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. And the second free throw, good. 3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Here's Simon. And again, no good by St. Louis.
And when you can't get anything to fall, it definitely gets in your head.
If he can just make a couple of buckets, though, this can all be put in his rearview mirror.
So we see the score and get the win here. They poured it out tonight, dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. Alongside Tim Legler, Greg Anthony, and our reporter, Allie LaForce, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, folks. And now we present our player of the game.